We're moving on to the interlocking weft. So interlocking, our first one was a slit. It was completely open. So I switched colors. Always switch colors on your sampler so that I can see what's going on. The slit just means it's that open space. It is actually a slit through it. But the interlocking, the warp pieces are coming through each other. I'm sorry, the weft is coming through and locking. The next one's going to be dovetail, and they go next to each other. But the interlocking go around each other. So it'll make sense as I go, I hope. So again, I'm using a contrasting color. Don't use green and interlock it with green. Use something really different to interlock. So I'm going to go back to my last row here. It went under, so I'm going to go over. And I'm coming through. Again, I'm leaving about that hand width, 3 to 4 inches sticking out. But now I'm going to actually interlock. So I'm going to actually go through the end of the stitch there. So it's the same yarn. So I'm making a connection there. And if you look on your packet, the interlocking actually goes through the end. It locks through the end of the other row. So now I'm going to go back. So here I went over, so I've got to go under. And I'm always alternating that. And you're going to end up having to really move some pieces out of the way. Again, pack that. It's okay if you tape those ends under if they're driving you nuts. And I could totally see that. Oops, I pulled mine funny. So you can see it does happen. When I separated that out so you could see it a little bit more, it got it just a little funky. Remember, so I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to pull, my stitch is going to go through the loop made by the opposite yarn, so the green on the opposite side. I'm going to go through that stitch. I'm going to pull that through, pack that back down, and then go back through the other way. This is probably going to be one of the most confusing to start with. They all make sense as you go, but to begin with, sometimes they're a little bit weird. So I'm going to go through that one, and it's okay to separate them like that if that helps you realize where you need to go. So again, I'm still just using the tabby weave. Remember, right to left is the weft, top to bottom is the warp. So again, I'm going to go through that hole, and I'm going to go back through, alternating, still doing that tabby. So it just locks that together. So I want to zoom in a little bit so you can see what's happening there. So you can see they interlock. Hence the interlocking weft. Still alternating. Come all the way through. Still be vigilant. Make sure you're not pulling the sides tight. Again, so that's my piece that I'm picking up. Sometimes people will get their over-under wrong when they go through that stitch. You got to watch that. Do at least 5 or 6 of the interlocking, so you make sure you really get that. But again, if you don't use contrasting colors, if you use the same color for both sides, I can't see it very well, and you will not get credit. They must be different colors from side to side. Okay, so again, we've got the slit, there are the buttonhole, and then the interlocking. And now I've leveled that out, and still weave one side with the tabby, and then weave the other side with the tabby, coming through and locking those ends together. And again, cut it with 3 to 4 inches on the side, and that's the interlocking.